Good morning and welcome to this mobility hip class for seniors. You will need one dyna band. There's different colors with different strengths. This red one is a little lighter than the green one. Just find one that is suitable for you. And then you're going to need a chair and we're ready to begin. So we're going to start with a warm-up. So we're going to start with some standing movement to get us warmed up. So just put your chair to the side and then we're just going to march on the spot. So you can move your arms if you wish. You can walk around, up and down in the room, whatever feels good, or just stand on the spot. Just lifting the knees slightly. And I'm going to suggest that you take the feet out and in, out and in, leading with the right foot. Go. Just taking nice big breaths in and out. And then marching on the spot again. And then taking the foot out and in. Left foot leading this time. Out, out, in, out, in. Good. So we're just doing this for about a minute. Getting some oxygen into the body and just feeling the connection of the feet to the ground as you swing your arms. Okay, good. Let's take our chair now for some support and we'll do a few squats. So holding on to the chair, your feet are hip distance apart. Bend your knees and squat down and then come to stand. And it might be nice to breathe in and breathe out. Feel the weight in your heels. And we're going to be working around the hips. So the hip is actually the top of the leg. It's not this bit here, which is called the pelvis. It's where the femur, the biggest bone of your leg, inserts into your pelvic area, into your pelvis. And it can move most commonly in 4 directions. And we're going to work through all of those today. So just do one more squat and release. Good. All right, let's turn the chair to the side and come to sit. So I'm going to start with a deep stretch for the outside of the hip, which is the buttocks area. So I want you to lift your right leg into the air and then take a hold of your ankle and bring it across your left leg. Now, some of you may have your knee way up here and that's okay. That just means there's some tightness in there. So I just want you to work with wherever you are and take a hold of your leg with your hands. Take a nice big breath in and flex this foot to protect your knee. And then just lean forward and back. And just feel what it's like in your right hip as you do this. So this is a deep stretch, but a necessary one for releasing the tightness that happens from all the walking, standing, sitting that we do, particularly the piriformis, a very small muscle deep in the belly of your buttocks that gets tight. Okay, we'll just hold it here now and breathe. Try to let the knee relax and be heavy. And then let it go and bring that leg back to the floor. Good, so just notice how that feels. And then we're going to pick up the left leg off the floor, hold it, and then slowly move your left ankle onto your right leg somehow. Flex this foot to protect the knee, and then hold onto your leg wherever possible, and then just start to lean in. And you may notice that one side is much tighter than the other, and that is totally normal. We tend to be dominant on one side. And if you are right-handed, it's probably your right side. And if you're left-handed, it's the left side. So just notice the difference between the other leg and this one. Okay, we're just going to lean in now and hold it for a moment. And I just want you to imagine that your sit bones are moving towards each other. And then relax, breathe in. And as you exhale, just imagine those sit bones drawing in to the center. You may feel a little squeeze in the pelvic floor muscles as you do that, and that's a good exercise to do too for any bladder-related incontinence issues you might have noticed or be experiencing. Okay, let's gently release that foot to the floor. And now we're going to go into a groin stretch. So come closer to the edge of your chair and take your feet as wide as you can. We're trying to bring the heel in line with the knee, so there's a good bit of support there. And just feel what's happening here. So this is the inside of the hip, the groin, some big muscles that run across to the knee and then all the way down to the ankle. So we're just going to lift the heel and lower, and lift and lower. And this will help bring a little bit more stretch into the groin. And this is often the tightest part of our hips, the outside and the inside. The front and the back aren't usually as bad. So just notice how it feels to do this. Just slowly moving the heel up and down. Good for your calf muscles as well. Good. Okay, and then with your hands turned out to the back, we're just going to lean to one side, dropping the shoulder down and back up. Inhale. As you exhale, lean to the side. This is also a nice stretch for the back muscles that connect the hip to the ribs. Everything's connected, of course. So moving one part of your body is bringing benefit to other parts of your body. And just feeling your way, always moving into a place where you feel stretch and no pain. We never want to feel pain in our stretches. Last one. Okay, good. So we're going to slowly bring the knees back together. Right. And now we're going to work a little bit on the front of the hip. Now, the front of the hip has a big muscle called the psoas, which connects from the bottom part of the body, the appendages, our legs, to our torso. And so when we lift our foot off the floor, we strengthen that muscle. So let's give that a try. You might want to sit in the back of your chair now for more back support. So you're going to be using your abdominal muscles. So put your hands on your belly, take a breath in, feel the belly expand. And as you exhale, draw the belly in and begin to lift your foot off the floor. And then release it. Breathe in. Exhale, lift the other leg. Good. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Now, why is the breath so important for this exercise? Because our abdominal muscles are helping you. They're synergizers to the psoas. So they're supporting the psoas, lifting your leg off the floor. And if you touch the muscles just in the area below your hip where your leg and your body connect, you can feel that muscle contracting. And often it gets tight, but often it's weak as well. So exhale, lift the foot. Inhale to replace. That's it. We'll just do 3 more. You're doing great. Keep a smile on your face. Keep your spine nice and tall. And then we'll finish. Good. So just take a moment to relax and notice how you're feeling. And now we're going to extend one leg. So you're going to lift the heel off the floor, straighten the leg, feel the muscles in the leg contract, and release. And then extend the other leg straight and release. So breathe in to sit up tall. Exhale to extend the leg out. And again, why are we doing that? Because the abdominal muscles are helping you to lift that leg. Exhale, kick it away. And keep your hands on your hips and really feel the muscles that are strengthening every time you do that. Your leg is very heavy. And so by just lifting your foot up, you begin to strengthen all of those muscles, that whole chain from your hip down to your heel. We're going to continue to do these exercises, but using our dyna band in just a moment. So just getting your brain connected to this movement so it knows what you're doing. And you might notice a difference between the left and the right. I can feel a lot more muscle on this left leg than I can on the right leg when I contract it, which is interesting. We always have one side that is dominant, as I mentioned earlier. Okay, take a little rest for a moment. Now, I want you to take your hands and place them like fists between your knees. So you might want to sit forward a little bit on the chair. And as you hold your fists together between your knees, I want you to squeeze your knees in as if you're crushing your hands, and then relax. Exhale as you squeeze the knees towards each other and relax. Now this is activating the muscles of your inner thighs. Yeah, those muscles we just stretched earlier with your knees apart. Relax and squeeze and relax. And just close your eyes if it feels good to just notice what's happening. What are you feeling? And if you don't like pushing your hands together like that, just push against resistance. So if it hurts to have your hands together, put the back of your hands against your knees and push against your hands, but your hands are going to push back. And you're going to get a little bit of work into your upper body too. So whichever one is easier for you to do. You could always have a ball as well. If you have a ball, you can put that between your legs as well. Okay, rest that for a moment. Take a nice big breath in. Let it go. So we're going to do the opposite side now. So having your hands against your knees on the outside, take a breath in. Feet are hip distance apart. And as you exhale, push your knees out, but your hands are pushing in, and then release. Take a breath in. As you exhale, push against your knees, and then let it go. And then push. 2 more times. Resist. So the knees don't actually move at all because the force of resistance of the hands pushing against them and the knees pushing out keeps them in the same position. Good. Last one. Breathe in. Exhale, push. And let it go. Okay, well done. We're now going to pick up our resistance band and we're going to place it under our foot. So sit back in the chair. So you've got your lower back against the back of the chair. And I'm going to show you this from the side because it's easier for you to see what I'm doing. Okay. Then you're going to put the band around your foot like so. You're going to hold it in your hand. Okay. Then you're going to bend your knee in. You're going to grip it as much resistance as you want and then push it away. Bring the knee in and push away. Inhale, exhale. Good. So we're pushing against resistance like in a seated bicycle. Exhale, push. Every time you do this, you're strengthening your thigh muscles and the psoas, that big muscle in the front of the thigh, and connecting to the body. Good. We'll just do 3 more. You're doing great. Again, you rest any time you need to. And then come back in. That's perfectly fine. Keeping the back nicely supported by the chair. Good. And then release. So let that band go. Good. And we'll do the other leg. So taking the band around the foot, getting a good grip with your hands, and then extending and bending. Inhale and exhale. And again, if it doesn't feel like there's enough resistance, take another turn of the hand with the belt. And if it's too much, just release a little bit of the grip around your hands. I just got 4 more. We can do this. And 3. You're doing great. 2 and 1. Excellent. Okay, so Just give your hands a little shake. They might be a little bit sore from holding on to that. Next one we're going to do, I'm going to show you from the front. It's another one with the band. So we're going to wrap the band around, so take it underneath the legs and then hold it. You can cross it like this, you can tie it, or you can just twist it and hold it with your hands. But you want to put enough resistance because we're going to be moving the knees apart. So holding onto the band and then start to move the knee out and then back in and then out and back in. So you need to figure out what's the right resistance for you. Out and in, out and in. So we're working the muscles on the outside of the hip. That's it, good. Or you can simply hold it in your hand. Okay, I've got mine sorted now. And make sure it's sort of near the front of your knees. If it's too far back, it'll roll back. Breathe in, exhale, step. In to breathe in, out to step out. Good, so strengthening the muscles in the glutes. We're just stepping from side to side. And make sure you can feel some resistance as you do this. Sitting up nice and tall on the edge of your chair. Fantastic. Let's just do 4 more. 3, 2, and 1. Okay, well done. Let's take that belt off. And we've got one more using the band. So place it on the floor. Stand on it with your right foot and then take it underneath and around your left leg. Okay, so you're holding it with your right hand, but you've wrapped it once around your leg. Now make sure you keep that right foot pinned. We don't want it to flip off and hurt you in the face. So we're adding resistance, and now we're going to lift the leg off the floor. So we're going to lift up and down, up and down. So you're beginning to put more strength into the front of your left leg, into your psoas, because before when we did it, you were lifting without the band. Now you've got more weight to push against. And if it doesn't feel good, then just take the band off and just lift the leg like this. Remember the breath. You inhale, you exhale. Inhale, exhale. And when you feel you've done enough, please stop and rest. We just got 2 more. Excellent. And then release. And again, sitting back in the chair to support your back may be helpful as well if you felt any tension in your back. Now stand on it with your left heel and then take it underneath, around the top and underneath your right thigh. So I'm holding it with my right hand. And you can also have it, I didn't do that very well. Let's do that again. So put it in the front, stand on it with the left heel. Good, and then take it over and under, and then hold it with your hand. And then lift and release. Exhale, inhale. These bands are great for adding that little bit more tension to work against. Really safe and effective. Another way to do this would be to put an ankle weight on your ankle, and that would add some additional weight that you'd be lifting against too. You're doing fantastic. Keep that breath nice and steady. Let's just do 2 more. Amazing. Okay, let's let go of that band. Now we're going to move to a few standing poses. So we're going to hold the chair in front like this, and we're just going to stretch the front of the hips a little bit. So I want you to take your foot to the floor and just get nice and tall. So a lovely stretch for the front of the body. And this is amazing stretch for the front of your ankle if you do a lot of walking. But I want you to squeeze the buttocks a little bit and feel how that begins to stretch. The body and the muscles work in such a way that when one muscle engages or contracts, the opposite muscle lengthens or relaxes. And we want to relax and stretch the front of the hip. So that's what we're doing here. Good. Okay, let's do the other side. So push the front of the foot to the floor, little squeeze into your buttocks, and just notice how this side feels. Might be the same, might be different. Just notice how that is. Good. Just holding it there. I'm just going to move my camera up a little so you can see my head, because I can see that my head is not visible. Okay, there you go. See a bit better. Good. All right. So now we'll do a couple of strengthening exercises. So holding onto the chair, take your foot out to the side and just lift and lower. Lift and lower. So squeezing the buttocks and releasing. Squeeze and release. So you just lifted your foot an inch off the floor. And it's not a big swing here, yeah? So it's just a squeeze of the buttocks. So it's a small movement. We're isolating the buttocks to strengthen it and relax it. Strengthen and relax. Just listen to the body. It's also good for your balance. You can have your fingers on the chair. You can try to do it with no hands on the chair. See if you can do that. Okay. And release. Okay, let's do the other side. So just walk the feet a little bit, release any tension, and then lift your that other foot off the floor, swing back, and back to where you started. Extend and release. Extend. You can keep a slight bend in the supported leg knee. That will stop your knee joint from locking. Okay. And just notice how small the movement is. And squeeze and release. And squeeze and release. Just nice steady breaths. We'll just do 2 more. Wonderful. Okay. So now we're going to work the front of the hip, which will relax the buttocks and engage the psoas. So we're going to lift the leg and lower. Lift and lower. Lift. So this we did when we were sitting down. So now we're working, keeping your hand on your hip so you can feel what's happening. Good. I'll just do 4 more. And I'd encourage you to exhale as you lift the leg. Again, that will engage the abdominal muscles to help you lift the leg. Good. And now we're just going to do some circles. So just moving the knee in little circles. This will open up and stretch the entire hip. It's very nice movement. You can see that the hip is a ball and socket joint. So it's a ball that moves around in a big socket. And these are all the movements we have. There's a lot of muscles connected. And this socket is very deep. It's very protected. But when we don't stretch, it gets tighter. And that can often lead to hip replacements and other issues. So being conscious of keeping this area strong but flexible is important. So the chair on the other side, we're just going to lift the knee and lower. So breathe in to begin. Exhale, lift. Inhale. Inhale. Good. We'll just do 3 more. And 2. And 1. Lovely. Now we're going to turn the hip in circles. And I can hear a little crack happening on this side for me. So just keeping your finger on the hip, just feeling it as it moves around. Good. And any sounds that might be happening. One more time. And anytime you lift your knee up, you're working your abdominal muscles, so getting really strong there too. So we're just going to do a few just to release the hip now, to give it a little bit of freedom. So holding on to the chair with the outside leg, lift that heel 1 inch off the floor, and hopefully I'm not going to hit the back wall, and just start to swing the leg forward and back. So now we're letting it just flow, and this will release any tension. It's a nice stretch for the hip, so the front and the back of the hip swinging. Good. Now if you wanted to play with your balance, you could move one arm in opposition to the leg, so arm goes forward as the leg goes back. And you're getting a lot of work in your leg that's supporting you right now, because it's having to hold the weight of your body. So getting strong in that leg as you swing this one forward and back. There we go. Good. And if you wanted to take your hand off and try to balance, you could do that. And if that's too much, just keep one hand on the chair and swing. Okay, let's finish. Now, I love that exercise. And then we're going to turn to the chair and we're going to swing sideways. So that same leg that you just swung, you're going to take it out to the side and swing it side to side. Make sure you don't hit the chair. The chair is there to give you some balance. And just swing the leg from side to side. So again, these are the 4 directions. We're moving the hip, front and back, and side to side. So bringing some freedom of movement and ease as we swing the leg. And we'll just do that for another 10 seconds. Keep breathing, supporting yourself as you swing. And let it go. Nice. All right, let's move the chair to the other side. Getting nice and tall, making sure you have enough room behind you to swing your leg, lifting your foot off the floor and starting to swing. So really important to have that chair there so that you feel stable and comfortable. And if you want to move your arm in opposition, as soon as we move our arms, we increase the flow of blood, get the heart rate moving a little more, the blood flow through the veins. That's it, good. And we're mobilizing the hip, we're freeing it, we're giving it the ability to move. And relax and release. Good. While we strengthen the other leg. We'll just do a couple more. And again, if you want to take both hands off and have a go with balance, you can do that. Or just keep a hand on the chair. Okay, good. Let's turn towards our chair. So now that same leg, you're going to take it out to the side and swing forward and back. Side to side. And you move as easily and slowly and quickly as you wish. I'm just doing this, and you will feel the leg that's supporting you getting a good bit of work, because this leg is heavy and there's a lot of weight to swing forward and back. So that other leg has to help you. Just make sure you don't hit the chair with your foot. Good. Okay, and relax. So we're just going to shake out the legs. And now we're just going to do a standing version of the seated stretch that we did. So we're just going to take one leg back, and we're just going to stretch that calf as we bend into the knee and give ourselves a nice release of any tension that might be in there. That's good. Pushing your hands into the chair, keeping your chest away from the chair. And then change, step in, take the leg back. Try to press the heel towards the floor as you bend the other knee. Good. That's it. Lovely. Okay, so coming to the front. And we are finished. So I hope you enjoyed that session. Please send me your comments in the link below. Subscribe if you would like to see more of these videos, and any specific areas, just send them to me, because that gives me something to work with to create a class for you. I hope to see you again soon, and thank you so much for joining me today.